Hey everyone, today I want to talk about some words which really confuse English learners. Now, English is such a language wherein you hear an expression in one context because it means something in a certain context, in a certain conversation. But that same expression, when used in a different context, can have a whole different meaning. And you're like, shouldn't this expression mean this? What's happening here? Well, that's because sometimes there are some expressions with multiple meanings. Yes, that's true. And until you know the different meanings of one expression, you may not be able to use English in a way that you really should. Therefore, in today's lesson, I want to show you what the expression usually means, which means it's fixed expression. But then I also want to show you its multiple meanings. Okay? If you want to be an advanced English speaker, let me tell you, you have to be able to use a meaning or use an expression with multiple meanings in different contexts. That differentiates a basic English speaker from an advanced English speaker. So what are these expressions? Let's have a look. The first expression is make it. Now this is like the most common expression and it essentially means to create something. Make means to create, right? I'm making something. But in a sentence you would say, it was his first painting, so he made it, which means he created it with a lot of care. It's a nice sentence. But do you want to restrict your use of English only to this meaning? You shouldn't. And therefore, I would encourage you to use its other meanings. Now, there are several meanings. Apart from using it to say you are creating something, you could say, you have succeeded at doing something. I made it. Or you could say, you have arrived at some place on time. You've made it. Or you can use this expression to say that you have survived even though people did not think you would. You've made it again. And of course, it means it's also used when you want to compliment someone and when you have become successful, to talk about succeeding. But now let me show you how you can use all these multiple meanings of just one expression in real-time sentences. Okay? She finally made it to the finals. Imagine, I've been trying and trying and trying. I've not gotten through, but finally I succeeded at doing something, which is making it to the finals. Or if I want to say that I have arrived on time, despite certain obstacles, I will say, she made it or I made it on time despite the peak hour traffic, right? So next time don't say, I came on time. Don't say that. You can use this expression, I made it on time. Now, there are some people who also use make it, especially when they want to say that they have survived after a close call with death. This happens. Like, for example, you could say, after fighting cancer for almost a year, someone that you know finally made it, which means they were almost on the brink of death, a close call with death, but they made it, they survived, in spite of not expecting to. Okay? Or like I said, you can use it as a compliment by saying, how do you make coding look so easy? Now over here, it is replaced by coding. Okay, so I can, it's a way of telling someone that, okay, they're so good at something that when they do that, it appears to be very easy. So let's say you're very good at dancing. I can say, wow, that was a great routine. How do you make dancing look so easy? But if you're good at coding, I would say, how do you make coding look so easy? Now we're going to look at the last way to use make it with a whole different meaning. What is it? Let's have a look. Make it big. Okay, so you've got to use the word big. What does it mean? It basically means you have achieved great success. There are some people who have really reached the top of the ladder when it comes to their career or their business. They have achieved great success. So, my brother has finally made it big in the Silicon Valley, which means he's probably one of the top bosses in those companies. He's made it big. He's been very successful. Okay? So, these expressions are really important And you've got to use this one expression in so many different ways if you want to sound like an advanced speaker. But wait, I'm not going to let you go just like that. We have another expression. Now, run over, again, a very common expression. When do we usually use it? We use it to say we are reading something very quickly. So you give me a document and I'm like, okay, I'm running over it, right? But again, do not limit yourself to only one meaning because you want to speak better English. You want to advance your English. So you can use it in many different ways, but let's have a look at this sentence where I say, could you please run over this contract before I sign it? Quickly read something, okay? But like I said, there are different meanings. So you can use run over to say, you are knocking a person with your car. Okay, this happens in a hit and run accident. You're driving fast, you've knocked someone over, you've literally, gone over their body with your car. Not a good thing, but that's what also run over means. Or you could say something is overflowing due to excess. Okay, there is too much of something. Or you could say that you have exceeded a limit. It could be a limit on time or a limit on your money, your budget. So let's use these other expressions, these other meanings of this expression in a sentence. Drive slowly, you might run over someone. Yeah, you really need to drive slowly, okay, because this can actually happen if you don't. Okay, or you could say, my coffee ran over, let me clean this mess. Remember I said that you can use this to talk about when something overflows because of too much of something. So if your coffee is like too much, it can run over, and sometimes when your coffee runs over, you've got to clean the mess. Yeah. All right. Sometimes run over, like I said, means that you are going beyond. You are exceeding a certain limit, which could be money or time. So I can say, thank God the hospital bills did not run over my insurance limit. Okay, it's a great thing, right? You don't want to exceed, you don't want to run over your insurance limit, or you have to pay a lot of money. Or you could say, I'm sorry, my last meeting ran over. Over here, I'm talking about the time. This is talking about the money. This sentence is talking about exceeding the time, okay? So I don't want my meeting to run over. It gets very boring. Okay, so now that you've seen how many ways you can use this phrase with, we're now going to look at another expression, which is pick up. Okay, this was like the most common expression we've ever come across in English, because pick up, what does it mean? It basically means you go somewhere to collect a person or a thing. So I go to the airport, I pick up someone. In a sentence, I could say, I need to pick up my book from Ryan's place. So I'm going to some place to collect something, right? So I'm going to Ryan's house to pick up my book. But like I said, sometimes this can have many meanings. You got to be ready to use them in many different ways. So you could say you are lifting something from a surface. Okay, this is a surface, a table. If I'm picking something up, it means I'm lifting it off of the surface. Or it means I'm increasing or improving, or a better word, I'm enhancing my performance. Or enhancing anything really. I'm increasing something, I'm improving it, or I'm enhancing it. Or, this is a very interesting one, a lot of people don't use it, but you must. You are learning something by chance. You did not intend to learn it. You didn't deliberately make the effort, but you kind of happened to do it, while you were going through certain things. You learned it by chance. Okay, what does that mean? Let's have a look in the sentence. Now, some people just don't pick up the trash. How disgusting. So here, picking up refers to actually lifting something off of a surface. So on the road, you got to pick up at least your own trash that you have, used. If you're talking about increasing or enhancing or improving something, it basically you can say, just be patient, our sales will pick up, it will increase, it will improve in a couple of months. And the last phrase, the very interesting one that I was talking about, if you are learning something by chance, without making an effort, you can say something like, I picked up Spanish by watching a few web series. let me tell you, you are also going to pick up English if you keep watching LearnX, okay? You will pick it up by chance. You don't have to make a deliberate effort, all right? So this is another way you can use pickup, and I would suggest that all of you use these expressions in several ways, okay? Now, you will not be able to learn English if you don't use what you've learned. So therefore, I'm going to ask all of you, put in your comments and tell me your own sentences. Write your own sentences about how you are going to use at least one meaning of each of these three phrases, okay? I'm going to personally check them and tell you if they are right or not, okay? So do put in your comments. I'll be back with some more lessons, and I want to keep checking if you are learning and practicing. So make sure you keep practicing. Take care. Bye.